Hi everyone, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. I'm laughing. I feel like I blend right in with my curtains behind me. We have about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, I should say, before we get started for today's core and stretch circuit. We're going to get started standing. We've got a quick little core focused superset that we're going to do, and otherwise it's Stretch City. So lay your mats out. We got plenty of time to set ourselves up and get started. I do encourage you to have a glass of water or the beverage of your choice nearby. I'm going to go grab mine. The beverage of my choice today is coffee. Don't worry, I have water as well. I've been drinking that high quality H2O throughout meetings all morning, and honestly, I'm ready for a coffee break. So silly. All right, so one more minute before we get started. If you are here with me early, thanks for coming. Uh, do yourself a favor, get up from your desk, even if you're not going to join me in class today. If you're seeing this video, get up from your desk. Just take a moment to stand up, find what feels good. Give yourself a couple stretches, maybe just take a couple deep breaths to prepare. I'm going to take in the smell of this delicious coffee. So let's roll this for a second. This over here. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. Let's make our way to the top of the mat as I set my timer for today's work. So coming up to the top of the mat, just standing nice and tall and proud, feel free to close your eyes here. Relax your fingers down to the floor, ground your feet, and notice where you have your weight. I know typically if I'm just standing around that I tend to bring a lot more weight into my toes. There's a little bit of like a Michael Jackson lean happening over here. So I encourage you to find a little bit more length and join me as we shift the weight back towards our heels a little bit more, and then ground through the front of the feet. Decompressing your shoulders, really stretching your fingers down towards the floor. Take that gentle engagement through your abdominal core and check in with your shoulders. If you've been sitting at a desk all morning, or if you're feeling kind of stressed or sad, it's normal that you might find some rounding or some collapsing of those shoulders. So I want you to use your next inhale to lift up, roll those shoulders down and back, and then you can still decompress them with fingers stretched towards the floor. If you have that overarch in your back, take that slight tuck under of your pelvis. Here we go. Keeping it really simple to start with. Inhale, you can bend your knees. Full length of your inhale, stretch your arms up overhead, and the full length of your exhale. So as slow as you can go, relax your arms down by your side. Let's do 3 more, just like that at your own pace. So inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead, but still decompressing shoulders, so creating some space. Exhale, rain your fingers down. If your breath is a little slower or a little faster than mine, well, that's okay. And if your breath is a little slower than mine, I want to hear from you because I feel like I'm like the slowest breather ever. If you're already done, just stand there and mountain pose, fingers to the floor. Treat yourself to these 3 big breaths. And then just coming back into your stillness. So regrounding the weight through your heels, little squeeze of the glutes, that contraction of your core, shoulders down and back, chest lifted. Check in with your chin. I know because my hair is heavy, I tend to stretch my chin up towards the ceiling. So find that neutral chin to your chest. And let's continue on with our movement here. So once more, inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, this time we're gonna rain our fingers all the way down towards the floor. On your inhale, find a half lift. So lengthen through those legs as much as feels good for you. Nice long, straight spine, shoulders still away from ears, and exhale down into your forward fold. Let's hang out here in this dangle to begin with. Maybe your fingers touch down towards the floor. Maybe you're grabbing hold of your opposite elbow. Maybe you're not going down that low today. And your half lift is nice and high here with your hands on the thigh. If that's the case, bring a little bit more bend to your knees. Bring that belly towards the thighs for a little bit more support and relaxation through that lower back. And on your inhale, we're going to roll all the way back up. Arms come up overhead, palms come together, and this time as you exhale, hands come down to heart center. So coming into Anjali Mudra. Press your palms together. Press your thumb and your pinky finger together. Open up your awesome lotus hands. So your hands are like a flower. Elbows are still stretching down towards the floor. So shoulders are away from your ears. Just getting a little bit more manipulation into those hands. Glutes are still contracted and still pressing equally through all four corners of your feet. You should even be able to take a little wiggle of your toes. Bring those hands, palms back together. Inhale, arms up overhead. Eyes can look up towards fingers. Exhale. Use that breath, rain down to the floor. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale back down into your forward fold. Once again, hanging out here in this dangle, feel free to pedal through your heels, maybe bend one knee and then the other. Maybe a little shifting through your hips. Maybe you're keeping your lower half planted and it feels better to nod your head yes, shake your head no. Reground through the feet. Inhale yourself all the way up. Hands, palms come together. Exhale, hands come down to heart center once more. One more time through, just like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, belly in nice and tight. Protect that lower back as we rain down towards the floor. Inhale into your version of a half lift. Exhale down into that forward fold. From here, I want you to step your right foot back. Bring the ball of the right foot down. Inhale those arms up towards the ceiling. Find yourself in an amazing crescent lunge. So the back heel is off the floor. Hips are squared to the front of the mat. We're going to open that right hand towards the back of the mat. Turn that back foot and come into warrior two. So make sure that there is still a bend of your left leg. Knee is not going past your toe. And turn your chin to look over your left hand fingertips. Turn your palm over. Let's come into peaceful. So that left hand comes up towards the ceiling and right hand can either trace down your thigh or wrap it around your back. Inhale back into warrior two. We're going to swing that arm, left arm, right arm down. Come back into your crescent warrior. And exhale, rain your fingers down towards the floor. Step your right leg back to meet with your left. Take a moment just hanging out in plank. So shift those shoulders forward, squeeze shoulder blades together. Exhale, send your hips up towards the ceiling. And then let's go ahead and walk your feet up towards your hands, getting those big stretches on the back of the legs. We find ourselves in our dangle. Once again, we've been here. So use your breath. Inhale, slowly roll yourself up. Hands, palms come together. Exhale. Hands come down to heart center. Take a couple moments right here with your breath. Find your stillness. Try to eradicate any sort of fidgeting that you do. I know that especially when I was new to yoga and things were hard, between postures, it's like you'd think there were ants in your pants. I want you to find that complete stillness. Even if there were ants in your pants, we're going to ignore them. All right. Inhale, arms come up overhead, belly in tight. Exhale, rain or swan dive down to the floor. Inhale up into your half lift. Exhale down into your forward fold. This time we're going to step the opposite leg back. So if you're moving with me, we're stepping that left leg back into your Crescent Warrior. Plant the ball of the foot down. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling, keeping your hips square to the top of your mat. That nice generous bend in your right leg. This time, left hand comes to the back of the mat. Turn through that left heel. We're going to be in this position again later for one of our ab moves. Make sure you still have that generous bend in your right knee. Turn your right hand palm over. You're looking at it. Exhale, come on into your peaceful. Inhale back into Warrior Two. Bring that left hand down and around. Come into your Crescent Lunge once more. Exhale, rain those fingers down towards the floor. Bring your right leg back to meet with your left. Take a moment in that plank. Get that good plank form. So readjust your feet if you need to. Get your hands, palms right underneath of your chest and shoulders. Inhale, hips up towards the ceiling. And go ahead, walk those feet up to your hands or your hands up towards your feet. We'll take another moment here in our dangle. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit more loose, comfortable, flexible. Take a moment, shake it out. Shake through your hips, your glutes, your shoulders. Get weird. All right, then ground through your feet. Inhale, slowly roll yourself up. Bring those arms all the way up overhead. And palms come together at heart center. One more moment, just relaxing here in your mountain. You are so strong and stable and still. And on your next exhale, relax those arms down. Feel free to shake out any sort of spilkies or tightness that you're feeling. Just eliminating that stress with some funky, weird movements. Gotta get weird, y'all. All right, so let's come on into our first little superset of ab moves. First set is going to be standing. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We've done these moves before. We're gonna go for a standing crossbody crunch to begin with. That's move number one. If you're game, keep those arms nice and high. You can bring your hands close towards your head, but I try not to apply any pressure of my fingers against the back of the neck. So working to keep that chest lifted and that core tight. We're just going to cross body, working to bring your elbow up towards, working to bring your knee towards your elbow so that chest stays lifted as opposed to crunching down, pardon me, to bring your elbow towards your knee. Now, if that's too much for you and your chest and shoulders to keep those arms up, you can do the same crossbody crunch with your arms crossed over your chest. Yay. The next move that we're going to do is similar to the stance that we were in a second ago, except we have a straight leg this time. So we're going to go for a nice straight leg triangle. We're going to get some oblique work in here, just tracing down our leg. In fact, you can even trace down and go a little bit forward, working to decrease that space between your lower rib and your hip in all of these standing moves that we're doing today. We'll do the crossbody crunch, the side crunch. Then we'll turn our feet, get the opposite side crunch. And that's it, easy breezy. Like I said, core and stretch, keeping it simple today, but still finding some engagement. All right, are you ready for this awesome, just under 6-minute circuit? Because I know I am. We've got 45 seconds of work, and then you got 10 seconds to shake anything out that you need to before we move on to the next move. All right, in 3, 2, 1, standing cross body crunch. So I want you to find a steady pace that you can keep. I'm really keeping those hips forward, but I'm rotating as much as I can through my core and through those shoulders. Drive that knee up using your exhale. And if you want to move a little bit slower, you can move a little bit slower as well. I just want you to keep a steady pace for you today. Keep in mind that with challenge comes change, but ask yourself, what did you come here for today? Did you come here just for a little bit of movement coming away from your desk? If so, maybe you go a little bit slower. All right, open those feet nice and wide. Turn one toe towards the top of the mat. So we got a nice straight leg triangle. We're just gonna use that breath once again. So I'm keeping my chest towards the wall in front of me. And the lower that I go down, the more I really feel a nice stretch in the opposite side. And you're using your core to lift yourself back up too. Still not applying any pressure, fingers against the side of the head. Find that reach. Ooh, I went for a run this morning. I am feeling this move right now, not just in the abs, but the great stretch that it's bringing to the legs. Let's core and stretch, shake it out. Take your time as you switch those feet. So this time, opposite toe points. Find those nice long straight legs and begin. The timer has started. So you can see I'm not crunching down to the side. I'm keeping some nice long length, and I hope that you are as well. Ooh. Keeping that belly pulled in tight. Maybe you're even rotating just a little bit at the bottom. So hand can come from the side of the thigh towards the front to get a little more into those obliques. Do you feel them working? I bet you do. Yes, y'all. We're almost there. 3 seconds left. 2, 1. Awesome. Shake it out. One more time through of all those moves, starting with that crossbody crunch. 3, 2, 1. Did you like how I kept marching there? I kept marching because my calves are a little tight. Felt good to keep a little movement going. I know I got so much of the day to sit in my chair. It's awful. It's awful. So these are a great move that you can do if you just stand up, even once an hour. Stand up, or maybe you stay seated in your chair and you just keep that chest lifted and use your breath to make some knee drives happen, getting some ab work from your seat. Come on, y'all. Last 5 seconds of this move. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Get ready. Turn one toe out. We're going to lean towards the side that the toe is out for this oblique side crunch. So I wanted to make sure that I brought a class today that is achievable for every body, especially this first round. First round of moves, not going to lie, it's a little bit easier than the second round of moves is going to be. But right now we're just warming up that core. We're still getting some good stretches through those legs. Because we got some plank work coming up next. You know what? We are worth it. Are you still breathing? I hope so. Shake out those shoulders if they need it. Let's turn our feet to the opposite direction. Set yourself up, pull your core in. Let's go for it. So I'm really keeping that long length in my spine, just going down as far as I can while still keeping that big length. So you're really like reaching forward. You can even think about it as reaching to the side if you want, to just get a little bit more range of motion in there. Finding what feels good. Keeping some variety in the partha. Nice work, y'all. We're already halfway through everything that we're doing today. Nice. Shake it out. Ooh, let's make our way down towards the mat. We're going to get a couple more stretches in, and then we're going to come into our plank form for our second round of abs. All right, so I'm making my way down into tabletop, hands, palms right underneath of chest and shoulders, hips stacked on top of knees. Give yourself a couple of cat cows right here. Oh, it's come to my attention. I'm going to need to tuck my shirt in. Gosh, I hate tucking my shirt in. All right, so you keep cat cowing it out while I hang out in the little bit of modesty, tuck my shirt in like a real winner. Oh, gosh, I don't think it's cute on me to have my shirt tucked in. What about you? Love to hear your thoughts about tucking in your shirt. All right. I want to bring you a little bit of hip opening because we are going to do some knee drives here in this next round. So go ahead, bring one foot forward. I'm keeping things pretty square, so my legs are still very 90-90, as you can see. If it's too much for you to keep your hands down on the floor, you can always lift yourself up right here. Maybe you'll need to walk that foot a little bit forward and then just press open, getting a nice hip opening from the knee that's down towards the floor, especially as you squeeze that glute and find that press forward. Maybe your hands are down on the floor. This way I feel a little bit more opening of my bent knee that my shoulder is next to as opposed to the one behind it. So just some things to think about. Take some breaths. I'm sure you're feeling some openings somewhere. And then let's switch it out. Go for the same thing that you did on one side on the opposite side, even though our bodies are not the same and every day is different. If you really find you can't be low towards the floor, lift yourself up. That's okay. Nice. Go ahead, bring those two knees together, open them nice and wide. So not really together, I lied. Toes are together though, as you send your hips back towards your heels. Walk those hands forward as much as feels good for you. Allow your head to go down below heart's level for some child's pose. If you want to bring a little bit more focus into the upper body, go ahead, bend your elbows here, bring your hands together, or maybe you just bring your fingers towards your neck as you really press your elbows into the floor in front of you. I'm all for any asana in which we can get some personal massage going. Hashtag clearly I live alone. Great work. Let's gently come out. Let's come back into a tabletop. And let me tell you about what is coming up next. So next we're going to go from a plank into a down dog with ankle taps. Now, if you find that the ankle taps are not working for you, then I want you to work on just being here in plank and pressing up into down dog, bringing your belly towards your thighs. Otherwise, we're going to tap, tap, and then shift those shoulders forward again. So you can do the same thing here from your knees if you need to, and send things back into child's pose. You're just going to get a little bit less of that balance work and ab engagement, but it's a great place to get started and it's a great stretch. All right, the next move that we're going to do is going to be mountain climbers. I'm going to do one set of mountain climbers a little bit faster, and I'm going to do one set of mountain climbers a little bit slower. My pants are starting to fall down. Great. And then we're going to turn over onto our backs. We're going to go for some toe taps and combine it with a leg lift. So if you need to for the leg lift, you can always tap your toes, bring your hands by your glutes for a little bit more support, and then work to bring those heels as close to the floor as you can without your lower back coming down towards the floor. All right, let's get started. I'll give you some fun varietas for some ways we can make that more challenging as we work through the moves. But we're starting off with our plank into down dog with ankle taps in 3, 2, 1, begin. Plank, press yourself up. Feet being nice and wide can create a more stable base. You're going at the pace that works for you. I want you to really think about being as engaged in your abs within those shoulders, feeling that stretch on the back side of the body as possible. So if you want to take an extra second, because this is core and stretch, and hang out in any of these stretches to enjoy this big stretch on the back of the legs and into the shoulders a little bit more from your down dog, you are welcome to. This is your practice. 5 seconds left. Awesome. Maybe shake your wrists out for just a second, and we're going to come into those mountain climbers. Now, if you need to, you can always bring your forearms down towards the mat for these mountain climbers. We're going to start this first set out kind of slow. Just find a little bit of a hold, working to bring those knees towards elbows. You can do the same thing right here from tabletop. I can really feel those abs fire up as I work to bring that knee as close to my elbow as possible. Making this a little bit more challenging, you could be in a V to just do a little bit more balance if you're not ready to be all the way on your toes. Oh, I hate to love these slow mountain climbers. Awesome. Let's turn over onto our backs for those leg lifts and toe taps. Sending those legs up towards the ceiling, tap those toes, and then bring your heels close towards the floor. Tap your toes, heels close towards the floor. Maybe you even go for a little bit of a butterfly at the top. Instead of just reaching for those toes, bring those legs out and in. Come on, y'all. I know that these moves are not super easy, but we've only got 2 sets of each of them. And then you can come to cardio kick butt. Come on, timer. Oh, great. Thank you. All right, rolling over one more time through each of those awesome opportunities. Plank to down dog ankle taps starts right now. So plank, pressing it up. I am shocked to say that I think that this one is the easiest of the moves in this second round. What do you think? Remember, some tips for down dog are gently turning those hands out just a little bit. So my fingers are slightly pointing towards the edges of the mat, not pointing just towards the top of the mat to create some space for my neck and shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that felt so good. All right, so coming back down. Next up, we've got those mountain climbers again. I encourage you to change your pace, change the direction that your knees are going, and begin. So maybe last time you just had knees towards your chest. Maybe this time you bring in a little bit more crossbody and a little to the side. You know what? I'm tired, and that's okay. But I'm going to keep going, going to keep that good form. We got 20 seconds left. Can you challenge yourself here as much as possible for this last 20 seconds? What's happening with your neck? I know that I have accidentally been tucking my chin a little bit, looking down towards my knees. Look towards those fingertips. 3, 2, 1. You're amazing. Turn over onto your back for the last of it. We got those leg lifts and toe taps. Begin. So toe tap, leg lift. Oh, I like this challenge. Keeping those hands right above the chest as opposed to bringing them down towards the floor for a little bit of support. Remember, it's not all about moving super fast. Moving slower means that you're using your muscles and not just momentum to make the work happen. Almost there, everyone. When we finish, we're going to bring those knees in towards our chest. Oh, go for it. Draw those knees in towards your chest. Maybe take a gentle rock side to side. All right, roll onto your backs once again. Go ahead, plant one foot on the floor and cross the opposite leg over, starting with a hip opener. So keep your Bent knee, foot on the floor to begin with, and work to get your two knees in one line. So I'm really stretching that knee towards the bottom of the mat to feel a big stretch in the hip flexor and on the side of the thigh. We're going to transfer the stretch into the glutes of your bent leg. Sorry, I lied, of this leg, by lifting your opposite foot up off of the floor. And if you want, you can bring your hamstring to the party by stretching that leg up towards the ceiling. Maybe you grab hold behind the thigh. Maybe you can grab hold of your pants. Or if you're wearing shoes, you can hold on to the strings of your shoes, but relax your upper body on the floor as much as possible. Slow down your breath right here. Let's take two more. Great. Go ahead, carefully release if you straighten your leg. Keep your ankles crossed right here. Open your arms to the side. I didn't close my legs at all. Right where they are, I'm just dropping them to the opposite side to come into a nice little spine twist. Melt your upper body into the mat. Just a couple breaths right here. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. All right, carefully roll onto your back once more. Uncross your legs. Maybe you windshield wipe your knees side to side. And then let's come right into our figure four stretch. So cross your opposite ankle over your thigh. Start with your foot planted on the floor and just work to stretch your bent, lifted leg knee to get two knees in one line. Maybe they're there. Maybe it's really far away, but hopefully you feel that opening in the front of your hip crease and a little towards the side. Two more breaths. And then as you're ready, lift that bent leg, bring the stretch. Oof. Ooh, this leg's real tight into your glute and hamstring. So remember, like I said, both sides of the body aren't the same. Depends on how you stand, how you sit. So it's okay if one side you could get into the stretch deeper than the other. Option to bring your hamstring to the party. My hamstring says, I'm good. I'm going to stay home today. That's okay. You stay there, hamstring. All right, as you're ready, use your next exhale. Bring your foot back to the floor. Keep your legs crossed. Let's come into our spine twist. Dropping the knees towards the opposite side. Oh, it feels so good. Melt into it. Relax and release through your upper body as much as you can. Take your time. Let's carefully roll to our back once more. Uncross your legs. Draw both knees to your chest one last time together. Decompress through those shoulders. Stretch your elbows down towards your hips. Get as much of the back of your head, neck, even shoulders on the mat as you can. And then let's gently roll ourselves up to a seated position. Yay. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. That's all the time that we have today, everyone. Hope you feel great getting in some core and stretch work in a brief 30 minutes. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. And I look forward to seeing y'all again on Friday for our yin yoga practice and next year in person in the fitness center. Have a great day, everybody.